So I think we're live. Alive and live. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to a seated adaptive yoga practice. My name is Bobbie and I am a yoga therapist and absolutely enjoy, love teaching adaptive yoga. And so I'd like to take a moment at the beginning of the class today to honor all the amazing teachers that I've had in my life. And so I don't want to cry, I'm a crybaby, so just know that I am teaching with an appreciative heart and with the knowledge that I'm a student first and always. And so an invitation to bring or to begin your yoga practice today by finding a comfortable seat. Sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. It is challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we are uncomfortable in our bodies. And then when you're ready, an invitation to bring your hands together in prayer pose at your heart center, if this is easy for you to do. And then to take a moment to remember your intention for your practice today. And so it might be an area of your body or condition you'd like to work on. Maybe you feel up to dedicating your practice to someone today, in which case you could visualize that person in front of you. Silently say their name or whisper their name. And then wishing them happiness and that they might know the root of all happiness. Release your arms down by your sides, spiral your palms open, shake your hands vigorously. Wiggly fidgets. If anything I share with you today, it feels uncomfortable, if it doesn't feel right, either a suggestion to skip it and come back to your breathing, or possibly backing off a little bit from the pose or the movement. Notice how that feels for you. Or maybe coming out of the pose or the movement altogether and coming back into it a little more gently or slowly. And so let's ground through our feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. We want to keep our connection with Mother Nature. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Energy moving in two directions. Lengthen from the tip of your tailbone all the way up through to the crown of your head. You might imagine that you have a thread on top of your head that's pulling you way up to the sky. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down just a few times. Rest your hands on your thighs, palm up or down as desired. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck, and from here we'll transition into mindful movement. Reach your arm up to the sky And then slowly float your arm down. A gentle movement, reaching up only as high as feels comfortable for you. Slowly float your arm down. Let's explore adding a gentle breath to the movement. On inhale, reaching up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Release both arms down by your side. Rest your hands on your thighs or your knees. And we'll begin the movement on the other side. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other if possible. As you're ready, reach your arm up to the sky. Slowly float your arm down. Gentle movement, reaching up to the sky, maybe turning your gaze up if it doesn't create tension in your neck. Slowly float your arm down. Gentle movement, reaching up to the sky. Slowly release your arm down. Release both arms down by your side. And this time, let's explore reaching both arms up to the sky. So it's not about forcing one arm to do what the other is doing. We just want them talking to each other. Take a look between your palms. If it doesn't create tension in your neck, then return your gaze on the horizon. Fold your fingers in, press into the palms of your hands. Or maybe placing your hands on the back of your head. So I'm going to choose to fold my fingers in today. Into the palms of my hands, there's a sensitive point there. And together we can shout out, I am. I can't hear you, so shout it out. I can. And I will. With a sigh of relief, release your arms down by your side. Roll your shoulders up, back and down just a few times. Rest your hands on your thighs or knees. Palm face up or palms face down, as desired. Notice, does it feel better to have your palms resting face up or face down? If you are feeling tired, I'd like to invite you to explore resting your palms face up, open to receive. If you are feeling restless, scattered, palms face down can encourage a grounding sensation. Our Buddha belly is soft, breath is quiet. And when you're ready, begin to soften your gaze. So maybe looking at the floor or the earth, 3 or 4 feet in front of you. That can help us focus our mind, or maybe closing your eyes softly if that feels comfortable for you. Moving away from the busyness in our minds and more towards our heart. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Our jaws relaxed. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Relax your shoulders. Relax your elbows. Relax your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Soft palm. Let your throat soften and release. Relax your upper back. Relax your mid back and your lower back. Relax your legs. So from here, we'll transition into a simple breathing technique that research shows can help with pain management and anxiety. So as you're ready, begin to deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. When we lengthen our exhale, it is calming for our nervous system. Maybe noticing that as we inhale, things expand. On exhale, things contract. An invitation at this time to place your hands in a triangle around your Buddha belly. Or maybe resting one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your chest, upper chest. Notice, is your breath long? Is it smooth? Or is your breath jagged? And breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Or maybe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Maybe breathing in and out through your mouth if that feels better for you. If you are congested, breathe in whatever way you can. And so the breathing, another breathing technique that I'd like to share with you that can often calm our nervous system and help with chronic pain is a breathing technique called bee breath. And so this is a yoga practice. And so bee breath, we are making a humming sound on our exhale. It's not forced and it's in your own time and rhythm. And so we'll begin together if you'd like, and it's available to you. Making a humming sound. You might notice that B breath can help lengthen our exhale. When we lengthen our exhale, it is calming for our nervous system. Finish up the breath that you're on. Let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Take a moment to notice if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. We've begun the process of tuning into our bodies and connecting with our breath. The bridge between our body and our mind is our breath. Release your arms down by your sides, spiral your palms open, open up your armpits, and wiggly fidgets. Wiggly fidgets. So a little more vigorous talk. So you can get a little bum dance in there. Walk your hips forward in the chair a little, maybe walk back. And so, shoulders up, back and down just a few times. Our booty belly is soft, so the area between our navel and our pubic bone. So soft booty belly, not an easy place to get to. Our spine is long, front body is soft. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to press one foot down into the earth or the floor. And then press your other foot down. So it might be an energetic pressing down. If you happen to have a Buddha belly or Buddha belly, a Buddha bellies, yoga buddy that is there and not doing the work for you. However, I'm doing a practice called Niyasam, so gentle touch, placing their hands on your ankles and then maybe on your knees. And noticing how that feels. Release your arms down by your side. Again, lengthening up through our spine, right up through the crown of our head. So this is mountain pose. One version of. So looking on the horizon, and then release. Sometimes when we're in a pose, such as the mountain, we might not think that there's a whole lot going on until we come out of it. And for me, I notice that when I'm in mountain and when I come out of it, I quickly become aware. Slouch, slouching, collapsing in my chest, head maybe forward, and all of that can be really challenging, and particularly in breathing or heart and so on. And so let's come into another version of mountain pose. Feet on the earth, maybe pick up your toes, create space between your toes, and then press them back down. So you might be visualizing the movement, imagine the movement. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Arms by your side. Spiral your palms open. Lengthen up through your spine, right up through to the crown of your head. A soft Buddha belly, quiet breath. Mountain pose. Come out of the pose whenever you'd like or on my cue. And release. So let's come into one more version of a seated mountain pose. So again, make sure that you're feeling comfortable in your seat. I happen to have a block between my feet. So this is another way that we can experience a gentle touch nyasana yoga practice. So this block is cueing my feet to be approximately hip distance apart. So I know some of you have amazing chairs with pummels and all kinds of great stuff. So whatever feels comfortable for you. And I also have a yoga mat, half mat under my feet so that I'm stable. And so we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And it's not one size fits all. We don't all wear the same pair of shoes. So sitting up tall, arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. With a soft bend in your elbows, reach your arms up into mountain pose. So it might be that your hands are a little forward or maybe back, or maybe elbows are bent. And so you choose, this is your yoga practice. Today I'm going to choose to reach my arms up. So whatever your pose is today, I'd like you to take a look between your palms if it doesn't create tension in your neck. And then return your gaze on the horizon. Ground down through your feet. Sits bones sharp on the chair, lengthen right up through to the crown of your head. And then slowly release your arms down. And notice any subtle sensations. How's your breath? Our old friend, our breath. And so let's, from mountain pose, come into a practice to help relieve some of the tension in our neck and our shoulders. And so, sitting comfortably, effortlessly upright, let's begin with simple neck rolls. See if you can resist the temptation to move your head to its full range of motion. If it hurts to move your head, explore visualizing the movement instead. There is a practice in yoga called ahimsa, non-harming. So taking care of ourselves in our practice. And then explore, if you'd like, moving your head in the other direction. Our Buddha belly is soft, breath is quiet. Let's meet back at center when you're ready. And then begin to move your head up and down. So on an inhale, looking up. On exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, looking up. Let your chin drop towards your chest. Inhale, looking up. Let your chin drop towards your chest. So it might be micro movements, visualizing the movement. When you're ready, turn your gaze looking over your right shoulder. Pause, and then imagine that you're moving your head up and down slightly. Stay here for a breath or two. Then moving your head through center, turn your gaze, soft gaze, looking over your left shoulder. Imagine that you're moving your head up and down slightly. Our breath is quiet, soft. Bring your head back center. Now take a moment, drop your ear towards your shoulder. Release your opposite arm down by your side if you'd like and it's available to you. We'll come into a practice called nerve flossing. Pushing through the palm of your hand, reach your arm up to the sky. So nerves like movement. Float your arm down. Bring your hand palm face up at your chest or heart center if you'd like. Exhale, drop your ear towards your shoulder 3 times, same side. Releasing your arm by your side, push through the palm of your hand, reach your arm up to the sky. On inhale, let's meet back at center. Palm face up. Exhale, drop your ear towards your shoulder, pushing through the palm of your hand, reach your arm up to your place. So one more time in your own time and rhythm. Of course, I'm here for visual. Neither one. See if you can not collapse forward. Finish up the movement that you're on. Release both arms down by your side. Then take a moment and we'll come into the pose on the other side. Drop your ear towards your shoulder. This might be your pose today. Honor that. Release your arm by your side if you'd like, is another option. Pushing through the palm of your hand. Reach your arm up to the sky. So not forcing the movement, but allowing it to happen. On inhale, we'll meet back at center. Exhale, drop your ear towards your shoulder, release your opposite arm, pushing through the palm of your hand, reach your arm up to the sky. On inhale, come on back center, palm face up. So 2 more times on this side. Drop your ear towards your shoulder, release your opposite arm by your side, pushing through the palm of your hand, reach your arm up to the sky. On inhale, we'll meet back at center. So for this last movement, practicing in your own time and rhythm, away you go. So one more time. Finish up the movement that you're on. Release both arms down by your side. Rest your hands on your thighs. Palm face up or down as desired. and notice how you feel. Not about what we look like in our yoga practice. The diagnostic tool is, how do I feel? No judgment. So moving on, little bum dance again, or shaking your hands out, doing a little bum dance or big bum dance, whatever feels good. So I heard this incredible share one day, and I listened to a lot of podcasts as I'm going through my day, because I can't listen, I can't do everything I need to do in a day and be hanging around listening to podcasts all day. So I'm going about my business or play or whatever it is. And I heard this amazing teacher, and I wish I could remember his name. He said that, and this is in reference for me, directly related to yoga. I like, and I can't quote him exactly, so I think it's called paraphrasing, I'm not sure. But he said the using the word tools. So I used to refer to tools a lot in our yoga practice, yoga tools in our toolbox. And I realized after listening to this feller, when he said, really, tools, the word has the implication that we need to be fixing somehow. So he said it might be more fun or enjoyable to think of the tools as toys and a yoga toy box. And so that works for me. So lots of yoga toys in our yoga toy box. And so moving on. One of the things, yoga toys, I'd like to reintroduce is a yoga strap. And so that is something that you might like to bring to class. And it could be, I know I've been introduced, thankfully, to some of my students to TerraBand recently, or it might be a stick and anything around the house that you can use. So if you have that available to you today, wonderful. If you don't, that's fine. It could be a house coat tie. And so I'd like to use the yoga strap as a way to help us come into shoulder openers. And so again, neck and shoulders. I don't know anyone on the planet that doesn't have tight neck or shoulders these days. And so if you don't, let me know and I will give you a call. Okay. If you don't have tight neck and shoulders, at least some of the time. So let's begin. Sitting up nice and tall. The front body is soft, feet on the earth. Take hold of your tie or yoga strap, whatever it is that you have. And I'd like to invite you to see if you can bring it up so that it's approximately shoulder distance apart. And then rest it on your lap. And then as you're ready, on inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. So it might be that you're pressing against the belt, if that feels okay for you. And so we'll stay here for a few breaths, or as long as feels comfortable. And 3, 2, 1, release your arms down, back to your lap or your thighs. Let's practice this 2 more times. On inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, so to your place. So it might be that you move towards your 100% and you back off a little. And release. Take a rest. So, wow, beautiful pink TerraBand. For some of you, I know that sometimes the TerraBands can have little handles if gripping's a challenge. Cool. So let's do this one more time together. On inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. The shoulders are flat or relaxed. Our Buddha belly is soft, breath is calm. In 3, 2, 1, release your arms down. Keep your strap on your lap. Release your arms by your side. And then take a moment to notice how using our yoga toy made you feel in moving in that way. So using the strap again, I'd like to actually come into a little bit of a side bend using it. So a gentle reminder that we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And so repose. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on your foot plates or on the floor. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. This time I'd like you to take hold of your yoga strap or whatever you're using and bring it so that it's wider than outer shoulder distance. Good stuff. And so together we'll come into the pose. On inhale, reaching your arms up to the sky. So lengthen. And then maybe exploring bending your spine to the right. Inhale, come on back center, lengthen, and then bending your spine to the left. Take a pause anytime you need to. And come on back center, lengthen. And then release. Whew. Set your yoga strap aside. Walk your hips forward in the chair about 2/3 of the way, or walking your hips back. I'm actually going to move the yoga mat that's under my feet forward a little bit. My feet are sweating. So thankfully, spring has sprung, summer's on the way. And so you might find that as you do the practice, that you start heating up a little. And so repose and do whatever your body is asking of you. So honoring where we are today. And so bring your hands together in prayer if that's easy for you to do. It might be it feels more comfortable at your Buddha belly if that's easy for you to do. And we'll transition into a practice called sun breath, a meditation on the heart. So a moving meditation. Reach your arms out to the side, up and out. And then bring your hands back together at your heart center or your Buddha belly. Bowing your head to your heart. On inhale, extend your arms out to the sides. So your arms might be up a little higher or lower than mine. And bring your hands back together into prayer. In your own time and rhythm, keeping this gentle heart opener flowing. And imagine, if you'd like, the sun at your heart center. And as you inhale and extend your arms up and away, imagine the rays of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside as a symbol of the light that's always inside us. And together, making a humming sound, maybe softest, bring your hands to your heart center, your Buddha belly. Inhale. Inhale. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to maybe feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. So moving on, give our hands a little shake in. So I believe that our hands are not only connected to our heart, but also to our mind. And so don't take my word for it, investigate. And so notice how you feel. And so I'd like to invite you to bring your beautiful hands together, rub them vigorously, energize your hands, warm up your palms. So again, if you have a yoga buddy with you, or you're doing this later with your partner or friends, or an animal, your fur friend. So warming up our hands, energizing our hands. I'd like to invite you to take your hands to whatever part of your body that it feels that's needing some attention, that's speaking loudest to you. And so today I'm going to bring my hands to my hips, letting the warmth, the energy from my hands soften and heal the part of my body. And so for you, it might be your shoulders, your belly. Then let's bring our hands together one more time, rubbing our palms together. And this time, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands to your knees and then massage your knees. Our Buddha belly is soft, breath is quiet. As we breathe in and as we breathe out. Reach your arm across to wherever you can reach comfortably. Maybe reaching up to just under your ear, if that works for you, then tap down to your shoulder. Reach back and give yourself a big pat on the back. And then reaching across to the other side, tap from the bottom of your ear down to your shoulder. And then reach back and give yourself a pat on the back. And then come on back center. Take your fingertips to the back of your neck and tap. Reach up to the crown of your head, tapping lightly, or maybe massaging. A little bit of Indian head massage. I did this a lot years ago. I mean, I still do the tapping, but I used to add, wake up, brain. Wake up, brain. And then smooth out your hair, your face. Maybe needs a little yoga face wash. And then an invitation to bring your hands to your eyes, cupping them lightly. This practice is called palming. And let the warmth of your hands soften behind your eyes. So we're not pressing directly on our eyeballs. Soft palms cupped over our eyes. Let the warmth of your hands soften behind your eyes. We'll stay here for a few breaths or as long as feels comfortable. Shift your eyes from side to side a few times. Release your arms. Rest your hands on your thighs and take a moment to rest. And so an invitation to draw your hands in towards your hip creases. As you do, begin to turn your gaze up to the ceiling. Be careful not to throw your head back. You'll know your head's back too far if it's difficult to swallow. And we will stay here for a few breaths or as long as feels comfortable. When you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. Slide your hands away a little if you'd like. And then allow your chin to drop towards your shoulders. Or pardon me, chest. If you know what I mean, just go for it. If it's anatomically impossible, trust that. Allow your shoulders to round towards your front body. Round your spine. On inhale, come on back to a neutral spine. On exhale, allow your shoulders to round towards your front body. Drop your chin towards your chest, round your spine. One more time. Come on back to a neutral spine. On exhale, let your shoulders round towards your front body. Round your entire spine, if that feels comfortable for you. And then slowly come on back to a neutral spine. Release your arms by your side. Spiral your palms open. On inhale, soft bend in your elbows, reach your arms up to the sky. So maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So bowing our head to our heart. Release your arms by your side. Spiral your palms open. So soft bend in our elbows, nothing rigid. Reach your arms up to the sky. So it might be that your elbows are bent, maybe reaching up, arms along your ears, forward or back. Maybe taking our hands together in prayer today and down through the left arm. Release your arms by your side, flowing with your breath. Reach your arms up to the sky. Hands come together in prayer down through the left arm. Gently twist to the side. Come on back center. Gently twist to the other side. Come on back center. Release your arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open. Reaching up into mountain pose. Hands come together in prayer down through the left arm. On exhale, hinging from the hips, rock forward a little. Take hold of the sides of your chair for stability. Pressing down through your inner heels, place one hand on each knee and thigh. And then an invitation to lift your sternum, looking up slightly, so cobra pose. And then when you're ready, maybe hands move away around your spine. I notice that your navel gently contracts in towards your spine. On inhale, come on back center. Release your arms by your side. Take your hands to your heart center. Release your arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open. Reach up to the sky. Hands come together down through the heart. Float your hands down over your knee. You choose which side. Spiral your palms open, reach up into mountain pose. Maybe our hands come together in prayer. So let's turn our torso towards the knee that we're going to fold our hands down over. And release. So this time we're going to repeat this similar movement. This time floating your hands down over your knees, or it might be that you hug your knee in towards your chest and belly, visualizing, or doing the physical movement. So hug your knee in towards your chest and belly, hold behind your knee, and release. Bring your hands into prayer. Release your arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open. Reach your arms on an inhale up into mountain. Hands come together in prayer down through the heart. So float your hands down over your knee or hug your knee in towards your chest and belly. It's okay to lean back in your chair a little. And release. Hands come together at the heart. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, come up into mountain pose. Hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Take a moment to rest. And I'm thinking it might be fun to do one more round. And so if you're feeling you need a pause, if you'd like to rest, come into whatever position you'd like that enables you to sit comfortably. And so one more round for sun salutation, honoring the sun, Mother Earth. Reach your arms up into mountain. So extend beyond your wrist, your fingertips. Get bigger in space. Maybe your hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Release your arms by your side. Palms face up. Reach up into mountain. Take a look between your palms if it doesn't create tension in your neck, and then maybe your hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Release your arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open on inhale, reaching up into mountain. And bring your hands down through center to the heart. Lift your elbows slightly, gently twist to the side. Come back center, gently twist to the other side. Come back center. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, reach up into mountain. Hands come down through the heart. So on your exhale, either floating your hands down over your knees or hugging your knee in towards your chest and belly, chin towards your knee, and release. Hands come together, arms by your side, reach up on an inhale into mountain. So notice that as we inhale, things expand, palms come together. On exhale, things contract. Bowing your head towards your heart. Release your arms down by your sides, spiral your palms open, reach up into mountain. Hands come together, down through the heart. So turn your torso towards your knee, flow your hands down over your knee, or maybe hugging your knee in towards your chest and belly. Tuck your chin in slightly. And release. Hands come to the heart. And take a rest. Maybe placing one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And once seated comfortably back in your chair for a short guided meditation. And from the meditation, we'll transition into Shavasana, corpse pose, commonly known in yoga practice. And so make sure that you have what you need to set yourself up comfortably. Often I like to put a yoga mat or rolled something behind my back along my spine. If you happen to have a yoga mat, anything that feels supportive and lovely along your spine, go for it. I also like to have a little bit of weight often on my thighs. So I have one of my favorite blankets. So the weight can encourage grounding. I hear it can help with fatigue. However, that said, I'm aware that this doesn't work for everyone. So making sure that you're seated comfortably, effortlessly upright. And so I'm going to have my reading glasses close by. Speaking of sun, it's like the sun's just come out when I put my glasses on. And so, and we'll start with placing our hands in a hand gesture. So the gesture, hand gesture, is taking all our fingertips and pressing them into your thumbs. So some of you might know this as Yana Mudra. And so mudras were created to help us focus our mind. So the humming helps to lengthen our breath, the sounds, and mudras, hand gestures, help us focus our mind. And so draw your hands in towards your hip creases. Hands can rest palm face up or palm face down. Keeping your thumbs and index fingers connected, extend your other three fingers. So I'm going to place my palms face down. If this hand gesture works for you today, wonderful. If not, choose another placement for your hands. One of the gifts that my teachers in India gave me was an invitation to think of when our hands come together in a mudra, that if we wanted to or liked the idea, to think of it as when our hands come together as a way to symbolically connect with our higher self or our higher power. Our Buddha belly is soft, breath is quiet. Look down and into your heart, see what you can see. And then imagine that you're breathing into your heart. Well, the meditation I'd like to share with you is by Thich Nhat Hanh, a beloved Buddhist monk, Zen Buddhist. And so I've been fortunate to draw from lots of different wisdom traditions. And it goes like this. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I feel ease. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. We'll sit for a few moments, breathing together. We'll come into whatever comfortable seated position you'd like for your final relaxation. I just noticed the time, so I don't want to take you over time. And so walk your hips forward in the chair a little bit, back. Shoulders up, back and down just a few times. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. Our Buddha belly is soft, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Soft belly, quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples, Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Mentally, if you like, saying let on inhale, and on exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. It's challenging to quiet your mind, placing your hands on your Buddha belly and bringing your awareness to your breath can be helpful through our breath. And without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. And to quote Matthew Sanford, one of my teachers, our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And an invitation to bring your hands together at your heart center, maybe your Buddha belly. Lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up for your yoga practice today. In a moment to honor each other, seen and unseen, connected through ConnecTra. Thank you, ConnecTra. All those who made it possible for us to share this time together. So the teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Bring the intention you set at the beginning of your practice back to mind, and then let it go. And so, thank you. And that's all she wrote. So I'm going to come in a little closer. Questions or feedback, I always love to hear from you. Feel free to connect with me any way that you can.